The Kestrel shuddered as Kree plasma ripped through its port shields without warning.
Port shields down to 40%. Multiple hostile contacts. Kree signatures directly ahead.
Commander Paul Okonkwo didn't flinch. His neural headset glowed, and the drone swarm responded to his thought.
Launch counterflank pattern Echo. Now.
Outside, the drone swarm banked hard, splitting into two ribbons that curved behind the nearest Kree cruiser. A moment later, the cruiser's core went critical, vaporized by precision drone fire.
That carrier, it just killed the Kryn in one pass. Who commands it?
But the Kree were not defeated. Their fleet was immense, and now they were fully aware of the threat the Kestrel posed.
No more games. All vessels converge on that carrier. I want it erased.
Paul stared into the storm of incoming hostiles, his mind already 10 moves ahead. The Kree had no idea what they were dealing with 3 weeks earlier. The Kestrel was still docked at Earth Station 7 when the recall order came.
Commander Okonkwo, the Dominion has broken through at Helix 4. The fleet is in retreat. I am giving you the Kestrel.
The Kestrel is still experimental. Are you sure, Admiral?
You are the only one who's trained on the neural interface. Your physical condition isn't a factor here.
The crew saw the wheelchair first, and skepticism flickered in their eyes.
Understood. I won't let you down.
Maria Alvarez, the operations officer, stepped forward. Her expression was hard to read.
Commander, I've studied your record, but a full drone wing isn't the same as piloting a single fighter.
Lieutenant, I didn't get this chair because of a fighter crash. I got it because I was the best. That hasn't changed.
She held his gaze for a moment, then nodded slowly. The Kestrel had its captain. The Kree paid for their overconfidence. Within minutes, the entire battle space erupted in jamming static.
Commander, we've lost automated swarm cohesion. Drones are drifting. I can't realign them.
Paul's neural interface flared. He dumped the autonomous protocols and grabbed every drone by sheer mental force.
Forget automation. I am flying them manually now. Prioritize target lock on lead cruisers.
The drone formations jerked and danced under his will, but the jamming cost lives. 3 craft spiraled out of control.
Drone losses accelerating. 22 down. We can't sustain this.
Human commander, your machines are blind. Surrender your vessel, and I will grant your crew a quick death.
Paul didn't answer. His mind was shifting pieces on board the Kree couldn't even see. The Kestrel shuddered under sustained fire. Damage reports piled up, but Paul's attention never wavered. He was already mapping the jamming pattern. Every burst left a signature. Every signature was a future target.
Activate decoy protocols. Paint the jamming itself as a target.
The drones began emitting false signatures, multiplying across the Kree sensor nets like phantom fleets.
They're biting. 4 cruisers just fired on empty void.
But Thalax had read the pattern. He triggered a concealed EMP burst from a cloaked platform, washing over the drones.
MP wave. Drone telemetry dropping. 30% offline. 40. We're blind.
The Kestrel buckled. A beam speared through the dorsal shield and carved into the hull, venting atmosphere and lives.
Reroute shielding to aft section. Stand by counter EMP on my mark.
A quarter of the drone fleet was gone, but Paul's fingers never stopped. He was already twisting the EMP waveform data.
Your clever tricks end here, human. My weapon will erase your swarm entirely.
Paul didn't blink. In the burning bridge, he saw a way not to save his drones, but to make the Kree pay tenfold. An explosion ripped through the drone bay, a charge planted inside the Kestrel.
Internal detonation. Deck 12. That was a planted charge.
Seal the breach. Security to deck 12. All stations. Maintain combat posture.
Paul's expression didn't change, but his mind raced. The Kree had a mole aboard.
Commander, if there's a traitor
shadow of an asteroid, cannon blazing. The Kestrel's shields collapsed.
Hull breach, decks 15 through 20. We've lost life support in aft sections, casualties confirmed.
All manned fighters, launch. Form a holding line. Keep the dreadnought off us while we withdraw.
The fighter wing shot forward. Pilots, knowing they wouldn't return. Their vector was suicide. Kree energy beams carved through the wing. Fighters exploded among the asteroids. But their sacrifice held the dreadnought long enough.
Commander, that was 60 of our own people. You just threw them away.
They bought us a chance. Without them, everyone dies. This is war, Lieutenant.
His knuckles whitened on the armrest. Through the neural link, each pilot's death cut into him like a severed nerve. Yet the dreadnought kept coming, unbloodied, its attention fixed solely on the fleeing Kestrel. The bridge crew worked in grim silence. The price of survival was etched on every face. In the dim emergency lighting, Maria stepped away from her console and approached Paul's chair with undisguised fury.
How can you just sit there? Don't you feel anything after ordering those pilots to die?
I feel every single one, Lieutenant. More than you can understand.
His neural headset flared, and for an instant, the raw sensory feedback spilled onto a nearby screen, searing red waves of agony.
This chair doesn't isolate me from suffering. It amplifies it. I lost my ability to walk, not my ability to hurt. 8 years ago, I crashed. I learned to crawl, then to roll, then to sit. Every step I take now is in my mind. That's where I fight.
I didn't know, I thought. I thought you were just a cold-blooded strategist.
No one does. And that's the deal. Now get back to your station. We still have a navy to break.
Maria straightened and snapped a crisp salute. For the first time, there was no doubt in her eyes, only fierce loyalty. Something had shifted on the bridge, a shared understanding that Paul's mind was his true body, and it had never failed him.
Set course for the asteroid field. We're going to use the rocks as our cover.
Commander, the asteroid field is dense and our shields are nearly gone. We won't survive a collision.
The Kree dreadnought handles like a brick. We'll turn the rocks into our best weapon.
The Kestrel's thrusters fired unevenly, the ship limping into the debris field with the entire Kree fleet funneling behind.
The human is desperate. Follow them into the rocks. There's nowhere to run.
Commander, all Kree ships are entering the field. They're right on our tail.
Keep us just out of their firing solution. We need them bunched and angry.
The asteroid field was a maze of tumbling rock. Kree cruisers scattered to avoid collisions, exactly as Paul planned.
Their formation is fracturing, Commander. They can't maintain a firing line.
Hold course. The ambush is set. On my signal, we strike.
Paul's neural signal flared. In the asteroid maze, the remaining drones darted from cover, targeting exposed Kree engine baffles.
Kree cruiser just clipped an asteroid. It's spinning out. 2 more collision signals.
Use the debris. Redirect Bravo drones to push them into the rock walls.
Thalax watched another cruiser shatter against a looming asteroid, his 4 eyes blazing with impotent fury.
Full thrust. Catch that carrier. I don't care if you scrape paint. Just end this.
Commander, rockfall ahead. We're scraping hull. Port side is sparks on the monitors.
Paul's headset crackled, overheating. The neural feedback was a continuous scream, but his hands stayed steady.
Hold it together. Just a little more. Make them pay for every pilot.
Where are my reinforcements? I want that crippled human vessel dead now.
The Kree fleet bled ships, but the dreadnought remained, a hammer searching for an anvil. Paul's mind was fraying, but he had one last card to play. Drone reserves had dwindled to single digits. Paul pulled the last wing into a skirmish line and opened a channel to the bridge.
Commander, we're down to 5 drones. That's not a wing, it's a prayer.
Keep them hidden. I am charging the main cannon. We hit the dreadnought's core at point blank.
The Kestrel's forward section split open, and a massive barrel extended. crackling with stored energy.
They're aiming to gut us. Activate the shadow platform. Erase that cannon.
A shimmer of displaced light revealed the cloaked weapons platform. A Kree gun boat hidden among the rocks, already locking on.
Commander, that platform, it's targeting our cannon. We're caught between it and the dreadnought.
No more tricks, human. Your mind can't save you now.
Not yet, but I've still got my ace. Just need one more second.
The Kestrel hung in the crossfire, cannon bristling but helpless as the platform's beam charged. Defeat seemed absolute, but Paul's eyes never closed.
Epsilon Protocol. All reserve drones. Decloak and engage.
From the asteroid shadows, a second drone swarm materialized. Stealth fighters hidden since the battle's start, now pincering the Kree from behind.
Commander, new contacts. They're ours, and they're right on the enemy's tail.
Cannon target. Asteroid just ahead. Fire on full charge.
The Kestrel's cannon fired, not at the dreadnought, but into the heart of a massive asteroid. The rock shattered, a chain reaction of debris swallowing the cloaked platform.
Impossible. That swarm wasn't on scanners. Where did they come from?
The platform is gone. The dreadnought's alone and surrounded.
You thought I only had 5 drones, Valax. I had 20 waiting in the dark.
A trick within a trick. You've been planning this all along.
The hidden swarm closed in. The Kree fleet, already battered, found itself trapped between the drones and the relentless Kestrel. Paul's endgame had begun. The Kree dreadnought listed, its engine section a molten ruin. On the bridge, Thalax's fury had curdled into something colder.
Commander Okonkwo, I offer terms. A ceasefire and exchange of prisoners. We withdraw from this system.
No, Valax. Unconditional surrender. You will broadcast your defeat to the entire Kree Dominion.
You would strip me of all dignity.
You brought no dignity to this war. Your choice, surrender completely, or I finish this.
Commander, Kree ships are powering down weapons. They're standing down.
Very well. On behalf of the Kree Dominion, I, Valax, formally surrender. The fleet is yours.
The broadcast went live across every Kree channel. For the first time in centuries, the Dominion fleet had knelt on the Kestrel Bridge. The crews sagged in their seats. No cheers, just a long, shared exhale. The battle was over. Paul had outfought a navy, but the silence that followed was heavier than any war cry. Paul's first order was not celebration, but triage. Damage reports, and a full casualty list. The numbers scrolled on his personal display, and his face went still.
67 dead. 19 of them pilots I sent on that suicide run. They felt the fire through my link.
Commander, I won't say it was worth it, but they'd follow you again.
She didn't wait for a reply. She just stood beside his chair, a silent witness to his grief. Admiral Chen's face appeared on the main screen, her expression caught between relief and sorrow.
Commander Okonkwo, you are a hero. The entire fleet is calling this the miracle at Hellas.
We lost over 60 people, Admiral. That's not a miracle. That's a price.
The bridge remained silent as Paul stared at the list once more, the names imprinted into his mind.
They called my chair a handicap, but the real weight is the chair in here, the weight of command.
Paul keyed the ship-wide intercom. His voice, when it came, was steady but soft.
Kestrel crew, this is your commander. We survived because you held the line when everything broke. I gave orders. You gave everything. The names on the wall
he looked at his chair, the symbol of his journey, then back at Chen.
I've never been a teacher. I've been a pilot, a commander. That's all.
Then teach them what you know. The fleet needs your mind more than your guns right now.
He was silent a long moment, then nodded slowly. The Kestrel would sail on, but Paul Okonkwo would build its future. Paul wheeled into the rehab center's testing room, where rows of veterans in chairs watched silently.
8 years ago, I thought my life ended. Then I found the neural interface. It gave me back the sky. Your bodies are different now, but your minds, they're sharper than any pilot's. Don't waste that.
A young man with one leg missing leaned forward, a neural band on his temple. His eyes asked the question his voice couldn't.
You are wondering if you can fly. The interface doesn't care about legs. It only cares about intention.
Paul gestured to a training drone hovering nearby. The young man's hands shook as he reached mentally. The drone wobbled, steadied, then looped flawlessly. The young man's face broke into a tearful grin.
That's the feeling. The chair is nothing. You are a pilot now.
The room didn't cheer. Instead, profound, reverent silence spread. Veterans nodded from their chairs. Paul watched the young man and saw his own beginning, a torch passing from one cockpit to another. The Kestrel's bridge was silent, her scars healed but still visible. Paul wheeled to the command dais, the neural headset dark on his temple. He traced a finger along the headset's edge, the same device that had carried his mind into the fire.
One last flight. Then I become a teacher. Funny how the cockpit never leaves you.
He pressed the activation node, and the bridge hummed to life around him. Displays, weapons, drone telemetry. The ship remembered.
All systems check. The scars are still there, but she's ready. So am I.
He held the link for a long moment, feeling the ship's heartbeat through the neural channels. Then, softly, he issued the power down. With both hands, he carefully removed the neural headset and placed it on the console. It was just a piece of hardware now. He looked down at his wheelchair, the one constant through fire and grief. Its frame had held him together when nothing else would. No resentment, only a quiet, earned peace. This was his cockpit, and it had taken him to the stars. He gave the silent bridge one last glance, then turned his chair toward the corridor. The future was waiting, and for the first time it looked like open sky at the Terra Prime Academy. A new generation of pilots learned more from the man who commanded it from a wheelchair. Paul taught them that the neural interface didn't care about limbs, it only responded to intention.
You are not broken. You are just piloting a different kind of cockpit. Make it fly.
A new drone carrier, the Okonkwo, slipped from space dock. Its swarm formations were textbook-less. The Kree Dominion, still nursing wounds from Helios, never again challenged human space. On a viewing platform, Paul watched the Okonkwo launch drones. The patterns were his, refined by a master.
They said my chair was a prison, but a prison can't hold a mind that flies.
A lifetime had passed since his crash. The stars had never looked so close. The veteran who outthought a navy had become the architect of an era. Paul Okonkwo smiled, his hands resting on the controls. He had never needed to walk to reach the infinite. Years later, an older Paul Okonkwo sat by a wide viewport, watching shuttles rise toward the stars. A young officer in dress uniform approached and asked softly, "Commander, do you ever wish you could walk?"
I flew.
The young officer looked at the wheelchair, then at the endless stars, and understood. Paul's weathered hands rested on the armrests, the chair that had carried him through fire and grief. He had never needed to walk to transcend. The stars had been his runway all along. Outside the viewport, a new generation of drone carriers launched, their formations precise, his legacy written in light. The officer left, but Paul remained.